Hello and welcome back. I am Fabelwesen and we're continuing my playthrough of Gabriel Knight Sins of the Fathers, the 20th anniversary version. And we're about done in the bookshop, so let's head out into the world and see what things we can do this day.
See you later.
See ya.
Okay, so let's see, where should we start? Actually, shouldn't these places be open today? Oh yeah, here we go.
Welcome, my friend. Hello, I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I would be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that.
Ah, he's got a snake there, doesn't he? It's a green one, like the scale.
A very large, very formidable-looking snake is secured in a plexiglass cage.
Got some other really grody
The
things going on
back
here.
wall displays various voodoo items, such as offerings of fruits to the voodoo deities.
It's nice deities. Maybe I should be into voodoo, just offering fruits instead. Doesn't all require human sacrifices. What's with this tiny chest, though? Coffin, I suppose it is. Yes, his direct translation
The
was
voodoo
Swedish.
shrine is filled with items that both fascinate Gabriel and also make his skin crawl.
Oh! Or maybe it's really surprised. Like, oh, that's a really, really tiny coffin.
This coffin is so small.
It is. Why does this flyer stick out? Oh, we can take it.
Magenta Moonbeam. Voodoo Inn.
Oh, let's grab that.
A flyer advertising Magenta Moonbeam, a local voodoo inn. Her parlor is on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine.
Very good. Okay, and this switch is really sticking out, isn't it? Turn the lights off.
What does this do?
Turn
Okay.
that thing off.
Oh, sorry.
We have air conditioning, you see.
Oh, here's an animation
I see.
glitch. The snake is actually supposed to bang its head against the glass, which is the knocking you heard. And it's supposed to give you a clue for later. But yeah, we missed it. And there's another one of those drummers, or maybe it's the same guy.
A street drummer has settled outside the museum.
Maybe he's the guy keeping beating him. But let's talk to Dr. John. Pump him for some information, because we are researching a voodoo novel after all.
Could I ask you a few questions?
That is why I am here.
I told you you could.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo, or the voodoo currently practiced in the city.
I'm gonna give you a fair warning. This guy talks fair amounts. If you just want to see gameplay, you might want to skip ahead a little bit. But what he has to say is actually really good and quite interesting. So, stick around.
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion, formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade. But African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, with the French and Spanish-ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively. The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importings of slaves from that region.
Oh, very interesting. But yeah, the Creole weren't very nice, were they? You could at least let them, have their practices.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, A slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
We're burrowing into New Orleans? What, through holes in the ground and stuff? It sounds weird. It's like a tick burrowing in or something like that.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons, at the place Congo Square.
At about
The
3
slaves
p.m.
and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances, right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Yeah, I would too.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Well, let's see what he has to say about her.
Tell me about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaus, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire.
It's a smart way of doing it, though. You just have your daughter take over at a certain point and makes you look forever young. That would be a really efficient way of getting superstitious people to believe in you.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery No. 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Guided tours to a cemetery? Well, you know, with the rich history of New Orleans, that could be pretty interesting. Let's go with the current voodoo, see what else he has to add to this.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or Grigri. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in the religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I personally am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo, but it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Well, that's it. We should probably just ask him about hoodoo as well.
What exactly is hoodoo?
Hoodoo refers to magic folk traditions of the South. Hoodoo is a bastard of voodoo. Many of the Grigri are similar, but hoodoo does not have the religious aspects of voodoo.
He doesn't really explain what Grigri is, and I'm not sure I can put proper words into it, but we get another character who explains it later. It's essentially small spells that you can do. It's quite interesting actually. But we've gotten all the information we can from him. We should ask him about Marie Laveau. No, not Marie
You
Laveau,
know this
sorry.
woman?
Magentia Moonbeam, yes. She is a local voodooienne. There are many of them in New Orleans. They often do business selling gris-gris, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. I often refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to her.
Well, good to know. Maybe we should
I'll
go
be going.
see her.
Come back again.
Let's see.
A sign on the front door of Magenta's home reads, Attuning with the Spirit Realm, back on June 22nd.
No, that typical. But we can at least go to the cemetery, because there should be a lot of people to talk to there. Well, there is this guy, of course. Let's see what he has to say.
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead. These folks ain't in no hurry.
Well, the game wants us to talk about Marie Laveau, and I don't think the rest of it's that important, apparently, so let's go with that.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans, a powerful voodooienne and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leave offerings. They're nature tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from that voodoo museum, he's here at least once a day. But Marie Laveau's tomb isn't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
You said there were other mock tombs?
Well, there's one right there.
Yep, I've seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, fleets of peas and congreve. Animal parts, human parts even, it look like. Male parts, if you get my meaning. And this is one of the great family crypts, mind you. Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it.
Well, let's have a look at this tomb here, since it's full of markings. And who is it,
A
anyway?
plaque on the tomb reads, Laveau.
Oh, so it is her tomb. Let's have a look at these
Odd-looking
markings.
marks adorn the Laveau tomb wall.
Well, we don't know what they are, but like with everything else, let's just copy them down. Could just be random lines, but it looks too intentional, doesn't it?
I want a copy of these strange marks.
Go. Well, there's not a whole lot of else going on here, so... Oh yeah, this place should be open, the Dixieland drugstore.
Hello?
Huh?
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Bienvenue, Madame Casano.
Oh yeah, I was first in line. What's this?
How you be feeling today?
Well,
Man.
I'll tell you, Mr.
Old
Walker.
line jumping
I'm
ladies.
certain someone's buried a sleep knot bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink, not in weeks.
Now don't that beat all. I'll need some easy night candles then, huh?
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosary good, sure enough, but you buying them candles too, boy, you gonna whip any no-sleep gree-gree, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them around to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know. Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dame. I've been in misery.
Now you put 9 pinheads up in the little box. Add a pinch of graveyard dust, put it up under her front post step. That'll turn the trick back on Miss Lefebvre, and she be the one with the bellyache. I got the pins of dust right here if you want them.
Of course you do.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame. Though, don't hurt to be proactive neither now, does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It's nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
Man, she's really into all her various gods, isn't she? But the voodoo pantheon was easy like that. You could just add gods as you please, because there were so many spirits anyway. And look at this sign here.
The Dixieland drugstore has a rather terrifying way of dealing with shoplifters.
Steal from us and the police won't be the only thing on your trail. Nasty. What else do we have here?
The sign says, Special St. John's Eve Lagnia. Free bottle of Lover Come Back to Me oil or Master Gambling oil with every purchase over $50.
Lock me up. My French is lousy, but everyone in New Orleans knows what that means. A little something extra.
Oh yeah. And with that, we're out of time, so I'll see you guys in the next episode.